Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to podcast 124, the Anniversary Cast. We have a great podcast for you today, everyone. It is January 12th, 2012, and we plan to release this for your listening pleasure on January 17th, 2012. Not Monday the 16th, because that's a holiday for us.
Yes.
In the recording studio with me today, as always, is Robyn, Naylie, Vallee.
Hello.
And with us via Skype is Tony RadarX Jones.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to talk about, you guessed it, the anniversaries we have this month, because for some reason we like to launch games in January.
Awesome.
Yeah. Vanguard, Magic, The Gathering Tactics, DC Universe Online, and Pirates of the Burning Sea are all celebrating birthdays this month. So we hope you enjoy today's show. We're going to take it away to the news with Robyn.
Yay! Thanks, Aimee, and here are your news tidbits for podcast 124. The wild wait is over in Pax Nora. The Wild Alliance Legends has arrived. Once again, the power of wizards and warlocks has been unleashed upon the world of Paxanthru. This Legends set features 8 new legendary champion runes, and each pack comes with 1 legendary rune, 1 3-day gold bonus token, and 1 tournament ticket. In DC Universe Online news, Game Update 8 Research and Development is now live. Create your edge in battle with powerful gear mods and consumables. Whether you're a hero or a villain, more power awaits in Game Update 8. Have you ever wanted to fly? Now you can in EverQuest 2. Nightmare Flight Wings and Pegasus Feather Flight Wings will allow your character to fly just like a flying mount. The wings can be used by an adventurer or trade skiller of level 85 or higher. They can also be used as an appearance mount for players of lower levels. If a Fae or Airicide dons these items, they will replace their natural wings. Get them both in the marketplace now for 1,950 station cash each. Have you visited the Clone Wars Adventures marketplace lately? There are several cool new items to get. Some of those items include the galactic potted plants. You can put these plants all around your house. Or a new Warthog pilot helmet and the new Wolfpack rocket jetpack costume. You should go check it out in game today. Have you seen the featured tab under the housing portal? This special tag flags remarkable homes as featured so that everybody can easily find them. We update the list of featured homes every Thursday. Do you have a fantastically decorated house or lot? If you do, visit the community news section of the Clone Wars Adventures forums and respond to the featured homes and lot thread for January 2012. In Free Realms, the Pet Adoption Center has returned to the game. You can find it over in the new player area now. Have you ever attended a community team event? These events include House Party Tuesday, where we visit player-decorated homes, ride and explore the trips around the realm, and of course, dance parties. To find out when the next event is, check out the activity calendar in-game. In other SOE game news, the PlayStation Network is running a 30% off sale on Payday the Heist, Rochard, and Sideway New York. You can get this deal between January 17th and January 24th. As a bonus, PlayStation Plus members receive 50% off. And that is all your SOE game news for today. Back to you, Aimee.
And we're back with some new drinks here. This is brand new. We've never had this before on the podcast. It is a Veranda Blend Starbucks Blonde. What do you think?
I like it. It reminds me of those coffee candies that my grandmother used to have.
Oh, my grandma used to have those too.
So it's kind of nostalgic for me.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it. What are you drinking, Tony?
Yours makes mine sound really boring. I don't want to say it now.
You have to say it. You're under
your sounds.
contractual.
It sounds like potpourri in a cup.
I'll send you a pack in the mail.
Coffee.
I'm just drinking a regular old, classic, old-timey. There's a TYME Barks root beer.
Ooh,
Nice.
I love root beer. Yummy.
Theirs is good. It's
Yeah,
more
they are.
like a sarsaparilla. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. It's got a bite to it. I think that's even like their tagline, isn't it? Barks has bite.
Since 1898.
That's right. All right. So we have some feedback and follow-ups for you. But Before we read them, I want to tell our listeners that I put together a prize pack, as I have the last few podcasts. This one contains Vanguard and DCO items, a signed collector's edition of Vanguard, a DCO lanyard, a color-changing SOE mug, so when you put cold in it, it turns blue, a station t-shirt, and $10 in station cash. So after we read all these, we will select our winner. You're first, Tony, with Matt and Z. Can you read for us?
I can do that. Matt and Z, thanks for the free swag from the last podcast. It was kind of fitting that it arrived on the day the latest was released. Hopefully it didn't take all the lunch money for the month to send it all the way over here. Well, it's not winter here in New Zealand, you crazy Northern Hemisphere people, and your winter at the beginning of the year. It does indeed snow here in Christchurch during the winter, so the MXO beanie, yes, it's a beanie, will get some use then. With the beanie, I now have swag for each of SOE's deceased games.
Aww.
I know, that is kind of sad and morbid. It does sound a little like a bit of the swig will live on in EQ2 with the introduction of Dungeon Maker, which sounds almost identical to Chronicles and Storyteller from Swig. Beast Lord sounds like at least part of the Beast Master, minus the whole bioengineering side of the profession. I really think SOE should advance the timeline of EverQuest by a few thousand million bazillion gajillion years and bring it into the sci-fi era. Question for Brass and the rest of the podcast team. Where did your Star Wars Galaxy character watch the final sunset before the lights went out for good? The night before I said my goodbyes to my alt characters and placed them at various locations that I frequented with them, such as my crafting house or my crafter, and played only my main and oldest character for the final day. His final resting spot was with my guild at our city on Talos. We sat around outside the city hall saying our final goodbyes as the server shut down. Time ticked down until the final connection message. I'll never admit to it, but I'm sure a lot of tears were shed at that moment as years of history came to a conclusion.
My character is sitting at the docks where I was fishing last in Star Wars.
Oh, near the Ewok village.
Yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Is that the same for you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we kept trying to fish.
Yep. We never finished those collections. What about you, Tony? Where's your character?
My character is stuck in a TIE fighter in space because I couldn't remember how to land.
That's awesome, though. It's kind of fitting. You're lost in space.
All right. I'm going to read Kraken 1. He says, I even heard on that night some old enemies might have buried the hatchet. And he gives a little /tar Abarak. Did I say that right? Obrak.
I think it's Obrak.
Obrak. And a salute. And then I'm going to make Tony read a long one again, because I'm just mean like that. Can you read Neil M's for us, one of our podcast friends?
Sure. Since the last podcast with all the talk of Dungeon Maker, I decided to give EverQuest 2 another go, and have enjoyed it so far. Last time I really tried was when I got the game via fanfare in 2008, but I didn't get into it at the time, due in part to my Star Wars Galaxy's addiction. No, we don't say addiction.
We say it's highly compelling.
Yes, very compelling. I don't have the AOD expansion to begin a career of dungeon building because I've been leveling and learning the game, but I do plan on getting it. I'm a swashbuckler, level 51. Brigands are better. Carpenter, level 21 right now. Carpenter sounded like it would fit well with making dungeons. It also seems it will be useful for filling up the rather large house I got on my character from Legends of Norath. At the moment, it is rather empty since I don't have much stuff I can put in it. I'm also semi-interested in PlanetSide 2, which you should go to the website and that'll make you more than semi-interested.
Indeed it will.
It depends on how much ground FPS you need to be able to do to fly. Almost none. You just get in a plane and fly around. I mean, it's PlanetSide. I kind of like dogfighting, and being able to be death from above is appealing too. I guess I'm concerned that ground-based game will give me motion sickness, which seems to happen a lot of times when I have tried FPS games.
During that town hall, I think the flying scenes gave us the motion sickness.
That's because Matt just doesn't know how to fly.
I think it was just a matter of, you have to overcome the awesomeness. It's not really motion sickness.
Oh, goodness. All right, Robyn's going to read the Vanguard feedback.
You forgot the PS.
Oh, you forgot the PS.
P.S. One of the last things I saw in Swig before the pain became unbearable was the Mega Walk.
So awesome. Now, I have to admit, I passed his little post up the chain, and he might have Age of Discovery on his account now.
Aw, so sweet. Will you read Whatley's?
Sure. Is it Whatley?
I think Whatley 13.
The podcast was nothing short of amazing. I always look forward to listening to them during the long day of work. These sorts of things really help me feel like I am a part of the SOE community. You guys never fail to put on a good show full of great info and laughs. The swag looks extra tempting this time round. Looking at that signed Vanguard game gives me the goosebumps. I'll never forget the months planning and pre-gaming for Vanguard. And I'll always remember my first time stepping into Telon. It actually looked so amazing that I always had the graphics cranked all the way up. In short, I melted my motherboard on my old Alienware. Good time. One dead Alienware and tons of great memories. God bless Keith Parkinson for his incredible work in Telon, and for all of his artistic input on the wonderful world of Norath. We will always miss you, your art, and the feeling you can bring to people with a simple swipe of your paintbrush. You will always be missed.
Oh, that's so sweet. All right, then this one comes, we haven't heard from this person in a while. Fantaschic was one of our backstage bloggers a couple years ago. He says, I would like to thank the podcasters as well as the SWIG developers for sharing your memories and stories about SWIG. And also for all the work that was put into the SWIG memory book. It's clear that you have a similar passion for the game as we players do, and are just as sorry to see the game come to an end. SWIG and my second MMO, EQ, was the first, but I was soon enthralled by the graphics, the characters, the world, and most of all the community that it offered. And then we cut out a bunch because we don't have enough time to read his entire post, but if you want to, head over to the station forums. Then he says, it has been said by others, but I think you can say it. I don't think you can say it too many times. SWIG was a truly unique MMO with many different things to do, and it supported a variety of different play styles to appeal to a broad spectrum of players. It had its start times, and many mistakes were made along the way. But I stuck with it because the best aspect of the game outweighed the negative ones. I really think that it hit its stride in the last few years of the game, and as the developers did a much better job at incorporating all the different play styles and new content, and showed that it doesn't always have to be about the hardest monsters and better gear. I hope that the game designers at SOE are paying attention to comments like these when they are thinking about new features or new games to create. The ending of the game was more emotional than I might care to admit, and now that it's gone, the MMO world is less interesting to me. As far as what I'm playing now, I will still be around in EQ2, though not as much. It fills the role of my fantasy-themed MMO. I'll also be playing another SW-themed game out there. It's fun in its own way, but it will never take the place of SWIG. Keep up the good work on the podcast, and I'll keep tuning in. All right, so we're going to draw a name. It'll be Fantaschic, Whatley, Neil M, or Matt NZ. Or was there another one? I think there was one more. All right, here we go. All right. Whatley 13. Yay!
Yay.
So we'll be mailing you your swag.
Yay.
So happy New Year and welcome back, everybody. Did you guys have a good vacation?
Is this our first podcast back?
This is our first podcast back.
Nice.
I know.
We're allowed to have vacations.
I know.
Working vacations.
Yeah, well, you know. I hope everybody had a good vacation, a good time, lots of playing.
I put together puzzles.
Did you? Yeah. I spent a lot of time with my kids and family that we had in town, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. What'd you do, Tony?
I played a lot of games, honestly.
Yeah. I played a lot of EQ too. Yeah. But we'll talk about what are you playing when we get to what are you playing.
I do have to say the play alert is in effect at SOE.
Yes, it is. I'm sure that they can hear that in the recording.
Yes. It's swept both offices.
Yeah. So since this is the anniversary cast, we should talk about the anniversaries. We have we had DCO first, but we're gonna save the best for last. Just kidding. We're gonna save the first for last. Because if you're first, you're last. I don't know. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about Vanguard first. So for Vanguard, we're going to celebrate with the surprise and delight that will start the day this podcast goes live, which is January 17th. If you're not familiar with our surprise and delights, We do 2 a month on the Facebook page. They're generally on Mondays, but because this coming Monday is a holiday, it's going to happen on Tuesday. And you get an item from in the game, and generally we'll send you a code, but we don't have codes for Vanguard because you can't redeem codes in Vanguard. So we're going to give you an item. And what's that item?
Well, it's going to be kind of a toss-up. You get to choose between the first 2 anniversary rewards.
Ooh.
Because they were 1 per account,
we're
going to go back and give you another one if you win the surprise invite.
Oh, that's very awesome. All right. And so for the anniversary, did they get a new veteran reward?
No.
Not this year?
Unfortunately, development couldn't get in the anniversary rewards for the anniversary. But with the new content update that's coming, they're going to put in veteran rewards again. So they're going to try and catch up for all the time that was missed.
That's crazy. That's really awesome. So what anniversary is this for Vanguard?
Vanguard will be celebrating its 5th anniversary, and the in-game content from that we run every year will be started again on the 21st, and it'll run through the 6th
of February.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
And I just got out of a small meeting with Moonlight, and she wants to let people know. I know this will be old news by the time the podcast come out, but character copies will be working again as of tonight's update.
Awesome.
So you can copy over your characters to test and test out all that new content that's coming.
Great. I'm sure they'll love that because they've been wanting to do that.
Yes.
All right. So in other anniversary news, Pirates of the Burning Sea is going to celebrate its 4th anniversary on the 22nd. And we want you to be sure to listen to podcast 125, which we will be recording in 2 weeks. And it will go live... I don't have that date, haha.
In 2 weeks.
But yeah, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after this one goes on. But we want you to get your questions in before January 23rd because that's when we'll be recording. And we're going to have Donna Pryor in here as our co-host. She actually worked on the game in Community. And then we're going to interview Tom Atkinson Edwards, a.k.a. Rhaegar, who also works on the game. So be sure to get all your questions in for that. And then, in more anniversary news. I know. It's anniversary. Magic the Gathering Tactics turns 1 year old. 1 year old? That doesn't sound right.
It turns 1.
Turns 1. Tony, you need to talk more.
Okay.
You can rag on her.
Yeah, you can totally harass me. I don't care.
Just not me.
All right. So... Magic's first birthday is next week, the 19th. And Ted Stone sent me a whole bunch of fun information. He says, starting Thursday, January 19th at 12 a.m., the first time you log into Magic the Gathering Tactics on either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday and Sunday, you'll receive 1 free, non-tradable preview copy of the artifact creature Juggernaut. So, if you log in for the 4 consecutive days, you'll get 4 full copy playset.
It's like a Swedish chef.
Bork.
Let me say that again. Log in for the 4 consecutive days, and you'll get your full 4 copy playset. That sounds better, doesn't it? Yeah. Ted wrote this, and he is like, the copy dude, the editor,
Bork.
I think he, because he edits the news sometime, and we still have to re-edit it after he gets it. He edits for reading, not for speaking.
So this promotion ends on the 22nd at 11:59, which is a Sunday. If you don't get your Juggernaut by then, you'll have to wait until the summer release of Set 3.
Ooh.
So this is like a preview. I mean, not like a preview. This is a preview. Yeah. So happy first birthday. Do they get a cake?
Cake.
Can they eat cake?
They can.
Speaking of first birthdays.
I know. It is your first birthday, right, Tony?
My first birthday for DCUO?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It was actually on the 11th.
Yesterday.
Yes.
So they got a anniversary cape. And
yes.
Anything else cool going game yesterday?
Just the commemorative cape, which looks really awesome, and they worked really hard on.
I saw the screenshot on Facebook.
The thought that comes to me is no capes.
That was the first response on Facebook. I am not joking. It says, no capes - Edna mode. It actually says that. Because I wanted to see the image. Did you see that, Tony, on your Facebook?
Oh, yeah. No, I saw it.
Your players are hilarious. They make me laugh. All right. So I wanted to talk to Tony about 2011. You know, I want to talk about DCUO's first year.
First year.
Can you talk about how the year has gone? I mean, give us like a year in review.
It's been a roller coaster ride for DCUO over the last year. Obviously we launched the game very successfully in January of last year, and came up quickly after that with a game update. Introducing Catwoman. We had some other iconic characters that have gone in. We just released Game Update 8, so over the year we released 8 major game updates and 2 downloadable content expansions, which added more than 5 raids, more than 4 alerts, and a number of challenge instances. We also went free to play, so that was a massive transition for us during the past year, which heavily increased our numbers, and it's been a pretty exciting and very challenging year for us, with the DCO team, but it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's a great IP, and it's a very action-filled game.
Yeah. So out of all that, going free to play, 8 updates, 2 DLCs, what's your favorite thing that happened? I mean, where did you have the most fun out of all that?
For me, the most fun, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. So when we did the Fight for the Light DLC, I mean, it was something our community had wanted in launch, but it was something we had kind of held back a little bit so we could do it, really, really with a bang. And, I had a great time with the Green Lantern content. I mean, we had a contest, and, there was all the hype at Comic-Con, and people just ate up the light powers. So, that for me was, our best moment.
Awesome. All right, so you mentioned briefly Update 8, which went live this week. And with that came research and development.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Research and development is a system. Some people might refer to it as crafting, but it is research and development. And what it does is it allows you to go around the environments and find components, and you use plans that you can purchase off of vendors or find dropped, and they will create, and you can create modifications that you can put on your armor.
Okay, like boosts to your stats.
Yeah, adds to your stats, adds to your vitalization, your other stats that you would use. What it really does, not only does it give you a new mechanic to play with, but it also allows you to further customize your character. If you're a healer, you really want to focus on certain stats to be a better healer. As if you were a DPS, you would focus on completely different stats.
Right. Okay, that's very cool. And where they find these add-ons, these plans and stuff off of NPCs they kill in the game?
Sure. NPCs, the plans, the basic plans are in the Watchtower and the Hall of Doom. At the crafting station, generally at level 10, you basically get a mission, which will direct you to the research and development tables and give you a really quick tutorial on how to do it.
Okay. Very cool. I noticed on your website you had this press release about, the year in review, and had all these great stats on it. Like this number of heroes created, this number of villains created, and that was pretty cool. I would like to link that in the show notes for our players to review, and I was really impressed with those numbers. Have you checked that out?
I
know I surprised you. Haha.
Yeah, you did. All right, I'm back. Yeah, no, we've some of the stats they gave, more than 3.5 million heroes, more than 2 million villains. Yes, there are more heroes than villains, we know.
Well, people like being good guys.
And I don't understand it. Being a villain is so much more fun.
Whatever, you guys.
They have better quests. I love doing the villain quests.
I don't know. I like being a goody two-shoes. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Anyways, what are the other stats? Anything really cool and interesting?
3.6 million days of playtime logged, which is...
Oh, my gosh.
I can't even buy... I mean, I played a lot. I have a couple of characters that, I put a bunch of time into, and I can't even fathom that many days.
My gosh.
More than 200 new missions added since launch, 2,500 new items, 15 new zones. These would include the raids, alerts, and challenges that I mentioned earlier, and more than 1,800 new encounters.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, now the big question that I'm sure he's going to tell me, no, I can't answer this, but I had to sneak it in here.
No, I can't answer. Oh.
What does 2012 have in store for the fans of DC Universe Online?
Well, we've got a lot planned in 2012. Because we just released Game Update 8.
Right.
Game Update 9 is on the way. No, I can't say what's in it.
But it's on the way.
DLC 3, if you've been watching our webcast, they've dropped a couple of very, very subtle or not so subtle hints. But, players can expect another power coming.
All right.
And, it's going to be some very exciting content. I know that, some people weren't as necessarily enamored with the last DLC, but this is going to, a lot of what we're putting in DLC 3 will blow them away. It's significantly more exciting than some of the things they may have seen. I think one of the big concerns they had really was the how it was mainly for high levels. This next DLC will have a lot more for everyone.
Okay, I can see that. You mentioned regular webcasts. Inquiring minds, especially Robyn and I would love to know when we're planning another one.
Should be coming up. We like to do them about every 6 weeks, typically around a game update or DLC. I'm not going to give out dates, but I would say there will be another webcast coming up very soon in the next few weeks.
All right. Because, we really love to schedule those out in advance.
We love to schedule them, too.
All right.
Down, girl.
I know. I'm a kidder. All right. So, before we go into my absolute favorite part of the podcast, is there anything else we want to talk about that's not on the list?
We just want to make sure that you understand that this isn't all the anniversaries this year, but these are the anniversaries happening in January.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have some other big anniversaries coming up.
Oh, gosh. March is our biggest, right? I mean, yeah. So we don't want to forget that. No. Never. But, yeah, we have... I mean, you can't not call this the anniversary webcast when we have 4 in 1 month.
I know.
So, yeah.
And it's the first year back. It's number 1.
Yep. So 2012 is going to be awesome, filled with podcasts and webcasts and promotions and giveaways of all kinds, events, and we've already had our first fanfare meeting.
Yep.
So it's going to be. They've already had their first E3 meeting. Can you believe that? So, we're gearing to go. Chomping at the bit. So. Tony, what are you most excited about for this year? Not just DC, but, like another game, big event, promotion. What is it?
It's hard to say. There was so much that happened at the end of last year. I'm still collapsed from everything that came out. So I'm kind of interested to see what is going to pique my interest this year. There are not a lot of announcements. I know PlanetSide 2 is something I'm going to be looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
I like FPS games, so this is definitely something a little different, a little cooler in my mind.
Totally. I am down with the PlanetSide 2. All right. So, what are you playing? I can't do really weird voices with my cold, so you're just going to have to take what you get. What are you playing, Tony?
What am I playing? I just finished. I'm a little behind. I just finished Arkham City, and
yes.
I'm about halfway through Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Nice. See, I played Arkham City a lot, and they've heard me talk about it on the podcast, so I really enjoyed it. But what is it called? The other game you just mentioned.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. I get to watch Kyle play those games. Those are the ones I like to sit and watch.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Arkham City, it was a little short for me, but yes. I'm a huge DC fan, so
I had to go back and get all the Riddler marks.
I over the holidays I played my butt off in EQ2. Nice. I got over 50 AAs. And
wow.
When we came back, like the first day we were back, I was like, Robyn, you have to tell Kyle that Kale is amazing.
It is.
Because Robyn's husband did the work in that zone. And we spent hours and hours there. I can't even talk. I had so much fun in that zone. It was so amazing.
So you need to go back and do the guide quests in that zone.
There's guide quests?
Yes.
It was so much fun.
Kyle put a lot of work into that zone.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, we had so much fun. Like my height of as a gamer, I always go back and go, I love Crystal Caverns and EQ, right? Because this is before I had my kids and before there was mommy, and so this was like that again. Oh, it was nice. I got my groove back. That's how it felt. Aimee got her groove back in KO. I feel like a dork. I am a dork, but it was so awesome. Oh, I love it. So you have to tell them how much I love that zone.
So when are you going to start raiding? It's going to be next week?
They want me to go. They've drugged me on their ×2s twice now, and I did get a lot of loot, and I'm right on that threshold of being geared. I could go if I signed up, but I'm scared, right? I'm not a raider. I am not by any means a raider. I like to have fun. The whole raiding thing scares me to death.
So you're that person that wipes everyone else, is what you're telling me.
Most likely, yes.
She's a healer.
I am a healer. So I'm afraid, I'm going to miss a heal and they're all going to yell at me. Yeah, you killed us all, and kick me out. But I don't know. I'm a big chicken.
You just got to go do it.
I do. I just have to do it. Oh, what's Robyn blank?
Yes.
Oh, no, Robyn. Don't start 2012 like that.
Well, like Tony said, the end of last year was so intense.
I know. Didn't you, the 23rd was our last day of work, official work. And then, the next day is Christmas Eve. And I had a lot to do on Christmas Eve. I'm sure you did with family. But, our first official day of vacation, I felt, wiped. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to pass out on the couch and not move. And I know, Tony, you've been working your butt off here, too, before the holidays.
Yeah, but I still beat Skyrim at that time, so you just gotta power through it, Aimee.
Oh, I can't.
Well, our the 26th was first day of vacation. We went to the zoo.
I was driving.
Yeah, we went to the zoo with our kids and our out of town family. So
my first day of vacation didn't really start until the 28th.
I know, and then we were back at work 4 days later. So, yeah.
So I kind of caught up on some books and did a couple puzzles and just tried to disconnect and relax.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I patched DCO and I patched EQ2 and I'm almost ready to log in again.
But you don't get achievements for those.
No, you don't get achievements for patching.
I glued my puzzle together and I'm going to hang it on the wall.
Robyn, this is a 3-day weekend coming up.
I know.
When we record podcast 125, you have to have an update for us.
Okay.
Or there's going to be gamer card hand overage.
I haven't gotten it back from Star Wars.
I know. Linda holds our gamer cards in her hands.
You should have earned it back.
We need to have her in and see if we redeem them back.
Well, yeah. She'll be back in a month on the podcast. So.
Oh, she's going to be 126?
Sure.
All right. So we really need to earn those back. All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the anniversary podcast. Go and check out all the fun in Vanguard, Magic the Gathering Tactics, and DCUO, and Pirates of the Burning Sea. Please be sure to join us in 2 weeks to hear all about the great things that are going to go on in that game. Take care and have a happy new year. Bye.
Bye.